there should be sound. Yeah, there is.
What's up, my luscious little fruit salads? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on #confirmed TennoCon 2019 edition, we're going to be digging into the art panel for all of the glorious goods. And let me tell you, this was a freaking treasure trove. So without ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. So the first thing that they actually went ahead and showed us is the new arsenal. And I'm not talking about a little UI screen. I mean, our whole entire orbiter is changing, at least the main deck that we see so far. And the biggest change that we see to it is it's actually got a freaking sunroof, moonroof, space roof. I don't know what it is, but you can actually see outside of it, so I don't know if it'll change from planet to planet, kind of like how our main window does. It would be absolutely beautiful, and it does give me some tingles about Railjack. I'm kind of like, this might not be so bad after all. Moving along, we have a new deluxe skin. And this one is for Ash. Yes, I know you're saying, wait, doesn't Ash already have a deluxe skin? We're going into version 2, and this one is very dark, it's hooded, and I almost want to say he looks like an undead ninja. I don't know what it is, but like the patterns that he has across his face, I'm just like, it's very like dark, if you know what I mean, like from the grave kind of dark. Moving along, we have the Hero Deluxe, and if y'all are looking at this and you played that RTS by Blizzard, I don't think it's World of Warcraft. I think, is it just Warcraft? He definitely looks like he's a character straight out of that one. I really, really love the fact that his body parts aren't necessarily 100% attached, and he's got like energy fields that are kind of floating around. Also, I love the helmet because of, again, the energy effects that are attached to it. It has that kind of like mag face globe kind of thing with the swirly, well, I'm assuming the particles are going to be swirly, but there does seem to be some particle effects in the helmet. Very priesty, but in a like a space priest kind of way. Which, I mean, I guess since we're space ninjas, it kind of goes hand in hand. But that one actually looks absolutely fantastic. And then next up, when it comes to deluxe skins, we have Type.
And
Oh! It looks like we may have lost the footage on that one. Of course, I don't think we'll be able to find that one until DE actually does something about the forced vacuum on Razorwing. Now, whether you like it or not is completely up to you, but I won't have you down in the comments telling me that it's not absolute garbage. Keep it to yourself, and let's keep on moving. Next up, we have Ivara Deluxe, and this one was handcrafted by Mr. Mike Skyers himself, the creator of Ivara. And it's really, really interesting because it's an asymmetrical skin. You'll notice first and foremost, the color mapping, there's like one blocked side and there's another blocked side, and they both have like different shapes to them. Interestingly enough too, as you guys know, is one of the biggest features on Ivara is she has that shoulder mounted like arrow holster. This time around, she's got a crossbow mounted at her hip with a pocket full of arrows. Arrow holster, I forgot what it's called, but it looks really, really cool, and I can't wait to get my hands on it and try to color it. Because of the way that it's mapped, it's gonna be a very, very unique one. Next up, we have this Excalibur Deluxe concept. I know Excalibur has a ton of skins already, but Liger Zanuka got their hands on it, and let me tell you right now, boy, is it fucking glorious. Hold on, I have like notes out the ass on this one. Alright, The braid is absolutely fantastic. The blindfold that kind of covers the face but kind of doesn't, because you can see from the side view there's like an energy effect that's kind of coming off of it, which is really freaking awesome. The number one thing that I love on this is the collar. I love the way that like the, what do you call this, the cloth drapes around the body, the shoes, and if you did not catch it, while yes, he does have a pipe, because I think that's what everybody was paying attention to, he also has a nipple ring. Did you see that? Yes, he is I think he's the first Warframe character to ever rock a nipple ring. Now, whether we see that in game or not, I don't know, but what they did see, we might see in game, is a custom animation for a deluxe skin with the use of the pipe. Very, very interesting. I can't wait. As always, Liger does a fantastic job, and of course the team behind it, when they actually model it and put it in the game, does fantastically as well. So really, really excited for that one. Moving along, and this is actually a little bit of a different change of pace, because we have a Magic the Gathering artist, and of course everybody on DE is a big fan of, well, maybe not everybody in DE is a big fan of Magic, but I know it's a strong part of the Warframe community is a little bit of Magic. We tend to play that every year at TennoCon, and they actually got an artist from there to design a Nova Deluxe version 2 concept. And this one, really, you know what, I'm gonna be honest with you, it really does kind of feel like it came straight off the Magic card. The internals of Nova is just pure energy. I'm loving the helmet piece, and I know that there are a lot of people that weren't necessarily the biggest fans of the original Nova Deluxe. I thought it was really cool with all of the extra hands and whatnot, but listen, it's a new option that might be coming. Oh, thank you for whoever just followed me. Moving along. Now this one is very interesting, and if you are taking a look at what's on your screen right now, it does say the Duviri bundle. So it looks like the Plains of Duviri is currently being worked on, and it might just be on its way. But the interesting part that I see here is there's two guns, but they look like they're the same gun. One is primed, one looks to be sentient-ish, I don't know, Duviri-esque, I guess we would say. And then we of course have the Duviri blade. So that was one of the things that really kind of made me think, I was like, is that the same gun? Is there going to be a prime variant? Is there going to be Duviri variant? Is Duviri another version of primed? I don't know. Maybe we'll have a Duviri Loki at some point. Regardless, they also showed off two creatures that I don't really care to get into too much, which is the Infested Ancient, which will be coming with the next Nightwave patch. And it looks like it's a leech that's kind of also a spider coming out of it. It's got these weird claw arm things and like this thing that's wrapped around the body. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it makes me itch and I don't like it. We also see this Eidolon critter. It has hooves. Not interested. Moving along to something I am really hyped about, which is the Railjack bundle. Oh my god, we've seen this before, but it looks so cool. As you can see, that is a massive Archwing glaive. Now, I don't know how they're gonna make it work, where they like throw it out in space. Is it gonna hit multiple enemies? What's the distance on this? I wanna see. But the other weapon that is attached to it, which is kind of bulbous, and I don't know if you guys have like tryptophobia, and I know tryptophobia has holes, but it's also lumpiness. This kind of triggers it a little bit because it's a little lumpy for me. I don't like it. But it is going to be a multi-targeted missile launcher. Apparently, you're supposed to be able to hold down, I think it's the secondary button, and highlight enemies and then release, and then it'll go ahead and fire off a swarm of missiles. I kind of want it. I kind of really, really like it. And if you have like a glaive, you can kind of like melee enemies, or like throw out the glaive and then get in there and melee some enemies while you're doing that and kind of like do long range missiles. Love it. Really, really excited for that. It also seems to be coming with a SANDR, which looks pretty fucking good. You know, I always go in on DE and their SANDRs, but this one is actually not a bad one at all. Now, continuing the Archwing, like, excitement. Now, I know not too many people are into Archwings. I fucking love Archwings. And when they showed off Modular Archwings, I was like, okay, so you ain't gonna make one for us, but we can make one ourselves. And let me tell you, all of the parts look very, very interesting, very, very different. I love the shapes that they're using. My only question is, how are the abilities gonna work? Are they gonna be like MOAs, where you can put these abilities on anything? In addition to all of that, you know, we got Zaz from, I was about to call it Cletus, but it's not Cletus, it's Cetus. And then we have Kit Guns from Fortuna. Yo, where does Modular Archwing stuff gonna come from? Plains of Duviri? Where is it coming from, D? Let me know, because I need it. I need to get my hands on this ASAP. Looks absolutely fantastic. Next up, they actually went ahead and showed off the 2 new Warframes, starting with Grendel. Now, it was a little bit of a rocky start to show off a small animation, but he does look pretty good. He also does not look as thick. He looks less... Maybe it's just the angle, because you know how it is. Listen, I take Instagram pictures. I know you gotta work angles sometimes, and I think that's what Grendel is currently doing. He also looks more trollish now than he did previously. He looked kind of like a, I don't know, he looked like a big old chunky lump, but now he looks a little bit more, I don't know, hunkered over and like, listen, you tell me what he looks like. But in addition to Grendel, he also has his Grendel bundle. Whenever I say Grendel, I think Grundle, and then I think Grundle bundle. And it comes with a big beat stick. And it also has a SANDR. It looks very tribal-esque. I can't wait to see how it works out. They did say that it was going to be a heavy weapon, so that'll be interesting. Can't wait. But of course, there is another Warframe that is coming before Grendel. We have Gauss. Is that 2 G's in a row? It is 2 G's in a row. And let me tell you right now, okay, initial models that they showed off on their previous live stream kind of looked like tacky, but yo, Gauss has a lot of metallics on him, and he is looking pretty fucking sick. Now, unfortunately, for my Warframe bingo, they did not show off his abilities. They did say that his abilities are kind of in the final stages, and from what I'm hearing on the inside, he's going to be interesting, and I might actually like him. In addition to that, they showed off the Gauss bundle, which they didn't go into detail with what the weapon is, but it looks like it's got like these little canisters up top. So I'm thinking maybe it's either going to be kind of like firing off a grenade or some sort of rocket. And then they also showed off a SANDR, which, to be honest, I kind of like the Grendel one a little bit better. Moving along from Gauss, who is looking very polished and beautiful, they did show off Wukong Prime Access. Now, they haven't dropped it yet. They have not dropped Wukong Prime Access yet, and I'm just waiting because Wukong Prime's accessory comes with Warframe's version of Blade Wolf. That's right, it is going to be a skin for your Kubros. And it looks to be like an all-over skin. Like, it's literally something very similar to the way that they did the Helmet's Charger, where it has the alternate version of it. This one just looks all primed and beautiful, and it's got a little casque on the neck. You know how it's like with the St. Bernards that have the little casque thing? He's got this little thing on his collar. I was like, oh my god, you look badass, but you also look adorable as all hell. In addition to that, there will be a SANDR coming along with it, which, to me, I could, pass on. It doesn't look all that fantastic, but you know what does look fantastic? Dude, the Attica, no, not the Attica Prime. Oh my god, my brain was like on autopilot there for a second because I knew that the Attica came first, but the Z-Huge Prime. Yes, I'm saying it on purpose. Yes, I do know it triggers you. Yes, you are gonna have to get over it. We also have the Ninkandi Prime. Both of them are really, really freaking gorgeous, and they should be coming very soon. I'm really, really excited for that. And Wukong Prime himself looks pretty freaking dope. Looks, in fact, let me say this, people, looks better than the leaked footage that we have out there of him. I think the polish pass is absolutely fantastic. Because, sometimes when those things get leaked, it's not like the final version. Remember Mirage Prime? Remember all of that kerfuffle? Because the helmets weren't right? This one looks dope. And I can't wait to get Wukong Prime with the pigtails back. Because all the skins that I've been using so far don't have energy pigtails. So I'm glad that I get to play around with those. Now, the next bits we're going to talk about. There's going to be some concept art that's flashing in the background. You probably saw a little bit of it at the very, very beginning of this video, but they did go into talks of the new war, and this got me a little bit excited, even though they were a little snarky, and I'm like, don't say things like endgame lest you mean it, okay? But they did say that New War was going to be more than just a quest. But there's actually going to be a tile set for it, and there's going to be enemy types, and it's supposed to be a difficult piece of content. So I'm really excited to see what's to come. And of course, they also showed off the Duviri bundles. So maybe these two things are linked together. They said they've been working on it for a while, and they couldn't quite get it right, and that's why the new war is taking so long to get out to us. But from everything that we were seeing so far, I do think it's quite beautiful. They also went into talks about their concepts for the Sentient themselves. When they were first designing them, they were designing spaces, and they were kind of struggling. Then they started thinking about the spaces as an actual living thing. So they started designing sentient ships, not just as ships, but instead also as characters. So they actually put up this old screenshot that they had where it looked like it was a sentient ship, and then it had all of these little, I guess you would say, fleshy looking construct parts that it looks like it's kind of putting itself together with. So they showed that, and then they showed a variant of how the Sentient would actually be consuming things in order to create more of itself and make a bigger ship out of itself. So I thought that that was really, really interesting, because they were like, the sentient ships aren't just sentients, they are sentients. So that was really, really cool. They also had a little bit of characterization for the Sentients, saying that they were a religious collective. And I was like, this is going to be an interesting take. I cannot wait to see how this all goes down. Now, of course, with all of the environments that they showed off, they had to show off some enemy types. So the first one is the Sentient Aerialist, and you'll actually see in the footage it kind of like floats around and dashes around, but I actually read the little small text that was there. So it says a more certain serpentine form of the Shedu? That's the first time I've ever seen that ever. It's S-H-E-D-U. It emits poisonous gases and smoke screens. So this one seems to be very, very evasive, and it's going to be a hard target to pin down, especially if it's laying down gas traps and smoke screens for you. Next one is the Sentient Doliculist. It looks like a priest. They were saying that it looks kind of like a waiter too, but the interesting thing about this one is it actually acts like a transport. If you take a look at its animation, it actually splits in half and it creates a portal gates for other sentients to come out of. So it's like a womb. It's like a little womb in space and time, and it's just serving up more sentient babies for you. Next up, we have the Sentient Orthlist. And this one has a bunch of like just long range weaponry. So this is going to be kind of like a long range combatant. It does look like it has some flight capabilities. So it's one of those ones where I want to say it's like the Corpus Nullifier that's evasive and moves around a lot, but doesn't necessarily have a nullifier bubble. So keep that in mind. That's going to be really, really fun. Then we have the Sentient Symbolist. And this is a shielded sentient. Now, this one also had text at the bottom, but I don't know exactly how it applies, because all of the animations that it showed, it was just kind of like blocking with this arm shield that came up in front of it. But the text reads, heavily armored on one side, the Symbolist becomes an exceptional danger when encountered with other sentient. This partner sentient will revert to its drop form and attach itself to the Symbolist's hardpoint and become a potent weapon. The nature of the weapon depends on the category of sentient attached. I don't know, seems kind of weird to me, but okay, I'll take it. Next up, we have what I'm calling is the mini sentient, because it did not have a name on the screen, but this one both flies and kind of like scampers around on all fours. It's kind of, I mean, I guess you could say it's kind of cute, but it also looks kind of disgusting, and they did show an animation of it where it looks like it charged up an energy ball and it's throwing it at you. So it's kind of like the sentience form of a drone, and I fucking hate drones. Now, the way that they actually went ahead and closed this baby out is, of course, we're not going to talk about the sentients if we don't talk about the goddamn sentient arm cannon that we have been waiting forever and a day for. They went ahead, polished it up. It looks really, really gorgeous. And they did say that this would be a part of the new war quest. So I don't know if it's going to be something like the Paracesis, that we get it towards the very, very end, if it's some kind of reward that we end up having to farm up, or if it's a weapon that actually legitimately comes from the quest itself and we have to use it somewhere in the quest. But the Sentient Arm Cannon is canon. Alright, next up we have the Sentient Armor Bundle that kind of goes along with it. And this one has a Sayandana, but what I think is more interesting about this one is that it looks like, in addition to either a spear gun, it looks a lot like a spear gun to me, or it could be some sort of, you know, staff weapon, but I'm betting on spear gun. The interesting thing that I want to point out here is it me? Or does it also kind of look like it comes with dual pistols and an amp? Are those amp parts? Because they look very small and very, like, little bitty. And a part of me is like, is that, when is that? Like, that's not a melee weapon unless it's like a fist melee weapon or something like that, something along the lines of sparring. But to me, it kind of looks like amp parts, which, to be honest with you, would be kind of dope because we do use sentient parts, you know, to deal void damage. So, I don't know. Regardless, very curious about that. The Syndana just looks okay. You guys know I always give TE a hard time about their Syndanas. They gotta come hard when it comes against these Tenno-gen artists. Regardless, I am super duper psyched for many of the things that we've seen here. Let me know all of your feelings down in the comments below. What are you the most excited about? Are you excited about the fact that some Warframes are getting a version 2 deluxe skin? I know I am. Listen, I love my Loki deluxe, but he's looking a little dated as compared to some of the newer deluxe skins out there. Liger, yo, Loki deluxe skin, put it in your brain. I love you. I've been cheering on you for a long time. I'm just saying, Liger, Loki deluxe skin, please make a little Warframe concept, baby. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. In addition to that, it looks like we got some spoilers for Plains of Duviri and the new war. Is this getting you jazzed up? Are you psyched about Modular Archwings like I am? Bitch, I'm building them all! Regardless, that about does it for me for now. I hope you guys are having fun with all of the TennoCon releases, my luscious little fruit salads. Regardless, that about does it for me for now. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your Modular Archwings. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!